press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Okay, my dear students, after the completion of mechanical properties of solids, the next chapter from NCERT book 2, we have to study mechanical properties of fluids. Fluid means a matter which can flow easily. Among solid, liquid and gaseous media, solids cannot move at all by its own unless you apply some external force. Hence, only the matter, that is liquid and gaseous media, can flow. Hence, the study of properties of fluids, so study of mechanical properties of fluids which can flow easily under rest is known as hydrostatics. Static means at rest. Dynamic means which flow. Fluid is a matter which can flow easily, like liquids and gaseous media. The study of mechanical properties of fluids at rest is called hydrostatics, and the study of mechanical properties of fluids in motion is known as hydrodynamics. So in fluid mechanics, we have to concentrate the study of hydrostatics and hydrodynamics, one after the other. If I take a liquid and a gaseous media which can flow easily, among liquid and gaseous media, if we distinguish liquids, they are, say, matter. They are one kind of matter which can flow easily. Again, gas is also one kind of matter which can flow easily. But we can distinguish depending on the density and arrangement of molecules and some mechanical properties. Density of liquid is greater than that of density of gaseous media. Here reverse. Density of gaseous media is less than density of liquids. If you check the arrangement of the molecules, intermolecular force of attraction between the gas, here gas molecules are, say for example, in this hall, in your hall, air particles are gathered, they are they are spread out here and there, which can move easily. There is no strong intermolecular force of attraction between the molecules, gas molecules, compared to liquids. If you take solids intermolecular force of attraction is very strong, very strong. Among these three states of matter, intermolecular force of attraction in case of solid is very strong. All the particles in a solid are gathered together, they are bound together. Hence, the entropy means the order of arrangement of molecules is very strong. Therefore entropy of the solid is least. Entropy of a matter, entropy, there is one characteristic. one property of a matter. Entropy is the amount of disorder of a molecules in a given substance. If they are arranged regularly, orderly, systematically, entropy is least. If they are arranged like gas molecules, say they are spread, there is no systematic arrangement. All the gas molecules wander here and there, intermolecular force does not exist. The most disordered state of a matter is gas. Most disordered state of a matter. Hence we call this as entropy. Entropy is very large. Compared to solids, entropy is very large for gaseous molecules. But once it come across liquid, lies in between. Andre entropy check madre gas molecules kinta kammi, but solids kinta jasti. But when we compare with the gaseous molecule, they have less disordered ordered state of a matter. And the entropy is less than entropy of a liquid. Entropy of liquid is less than that of gaseous media. So what differences that you can learn? Now, if you observe some mechanical properties of liquid as well as gaseous media in respect of previous class, there is a bulk modulus of elasticity and a shear or rigidity modulus of elasticity. If we compare them, you can make this as differences. Then second difference, or you can say third point, liquid possess both bulk and shear, or we call this as rigidity modulus of elasticity. Before getting into a deep study, you should have this basic knowledge, my dear students. Liquids can possess both bulk modulus of elasticity and shear modulus of elasticity. Bulk modulus is denoted by letter K and shear modulus is denoted by letter G, or we write with N. Both K and G exist. Rigidity modulus is denoted by letter N or G. K, small letter. Bulk modulus of elasticity, both K and G exist in case of liquids. Whereas in case of gaseous media, only bulk modulus of elasticity exists. Means gaseous media, they possess bulk modulus of elasticity. They do not possess shear or rigidity modulus. Why? Because gaseous molecule, they do not have well-defined shape. When a matter has well-defined shape, then only the media or matter possess shear modulus, because they do not have well-defined shape. For possessing this property, that is shear modulus of elasticity, the media or the matter should have certain shape. Whereas in case of liquids, they have both, they have volume and they take shape, they don't have well defined shape, but they will take the shape as that of container, and they take shape as that of container, And last, can you tell me among this liquid and gaseous media, which one is highly compressible? We can compress to a maximum extent. What is that? Gaseous media. A gas filled in a cylinder. Highly compressed gas. So gas media, this can be highly compressed. Liquids, they have less compressibility. And there is one term what we call as compressibility. You can take this, which is inversely proportional to the bulk modulus. Bulk modulus and compressibility are inversely proportional. For gaseous media, they can be highly compressed, means they have least bulk modulus. Bulk modulus of a liquid, of a gas media is less than that of bulk modulus of liquid. Lesser the bulk modulus of elasticity, they can be compressed highly. They can be highly compressed. Gaseous media can be highly compressed. I think you understood. If I compare with solid media, liquids can be compressed more than that of solids. Means solids have greater bulk modulus of elasticity. Remember, compressibility and bulk modulus, they are inversely proportional. Solids, they have greater bulk modulus, hence compressibility is least. But once you observe liquid, they can be compressed but by a little amount, greater than solids but less than gaseous media. So with this, you can have basic differences between liquids and gaseous media. So with this, my dear students, we have to enter the study of mechanical properties of solids at rest. That is hydrostatics. In this, we have to study some different properties. We shall start one by one. First, say pressure. After learning some basic differences between liquids and gaseous media, we should enter into a topic called hydrostatics. It is the study of mechanical properties of fluids at rest. First, what we say, pressure of a liquid, pressure exerted by a liquid. Before learning that, the formula, let us say what a pressure is. It is defined as the force exerted by the fluid per unit area. Force exerted by the fluid on unit surface area. Unit surface area, you can say. So it is denoted by letter P, capital P. Formula F divided by A. SI unit, force is Newton, area is meter square, Newton per meter square, or one more unit called Pascal, named after the scientist Pascal. When we write the name of the scientist completely, the starting letter must be small letter. When we write with a common single letter, capital P, hence one more letter is there, A, capital P and small a, that represents Pascal. And 1 Pascal, from this 1 Pascal is equal to 1 Newton per meter square. And this pressure is a scalar quantity. Means it has only a magnitude but don't have a direction. This pressure, when a change in pressure is applied to any part of the liquid, and that is equally distributed in all the parts of the fluid equally, it doesn't have a particular direction. When a change in pressure is applied to any part of the fluid, that change in pressure is equally distributed in all the directions, not in a particular direction. Therefore, this pressure is not a vector, it is a scalar quantity. Hence, they have some dimensional formula as we studied in the previous class. We need the continuation from the previous class. I have explained how to write the dimension formula. So, if I write a square bracket, read dimensional formula for pressure. So, now in this force by area, force is M1 L1 T minus 2 divided by L power 2. So, simplified, so you will get M power 1, L power minus 1, T power minus 2 is the dimensional formula for pressure. They may ask dimensions. Means the powers by which the fundamental quantities are raised. Nodi square bracket idistu bardre idistukku navu dimensional equation athwa dimensional formula anta karitivi. Dimensions antandre power by which the fundamental quantities are raised. Andre 1 in mass minus 1 in length and minus 2 in time antele artha madkobeku. What the meaning of dimensions? That is powers by which the fundamental quantities are raised. 1 in mass, minus 1 length, minus 2 in time. We definitely ask this, write the dimensional formula. Okay, I think you understood. In coming classes, you must practice in this fashion. Because of beginning classes, we are explaining slowly. What the meaning of dimensional equation, what is the meaning of dimensions, you must have that in your mind. Now, after learning this, definition of a pressure. Sometimes this force, we call this also as thrust, T-H-R-U-S-T. In some books, you may get, instead of a force, the thrust exerted by the fluid on unit surface area. Define pressure. It is the fluid thrust exerted on the unit surface area. Hence, the formula is force by area, SI unit, dimensional formula, and pressure is a scalar quantity. Now, let us understand, my dear students, what the atmospheric pressure is. Next, atmospheric pressure. We call this as ATM. ಮತ್ತು ಆಲ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಮಷಿನ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಬರ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ. Atmospheric pressure. We all living things in this world, their life exists because of the atmosphere. No atmosphere, no more life, my dear students. If this entire earth universe is replaced by, say, nothing, no atmosphere exists, we feel that our life has gone, no more life. The entire universe becomes dark. Even sun exists. If there is no atmosphere, no scattering of the light, we cannot get the light. And no more life at all. So atmosphere contain, most of the atmosphere contain nitrogen, oxygen, hydrogen, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide. This entire atmosphere exerting some, it means atmosphere contain gaseous molecules. It has some, we call it as a fluid which can flow easily here and there. This fluid exert thrust, the thrust exerted by the fluid on the surface of the earth. On the surface of earth. We call that as pressure. But to define this atmospheric pressure, if you go with altitude, as we go above the surface of earth, with increase in altitude, atmospheric pressure decreases. Therefore, we must have some reference, means at sea level. At sea level, we are all above the sea level. If you get into Udupi or Agumbe, Malpe, Suratkal, we have to go down by around 2000 feet down. We are about 2000 feet above the sea level. So therefore, atmospheric pressure varies from point to point above the surface of earth. Above the surface of earth, if you go above the surface of earth, atmospheric pressure decreases. Hence, to define atmospheric pressure, we have to choose some standard references. That is, at sea level, the pressure exerted by the atmosphere, which can support or which can raise a column of mercury to a height of 76 centimeter. Means mercury is a liquid which cannot stick easily onto a walls of a glass material, does not stick, does not wet the glass, and has greater density compared to water. Density of mercury is about 13,600 kg per meter cube. Density is mass density. We call this as mass by volume. SI unit mass is kg, volume meter cube, kg per meter cube. This density has greater value compared to water. When we have, say, a beaker filled with mercury, this shape, if you observe, at the point of contact, this is glass, this one is mercury. When a mercury is taken in a glass container, if we observe a close view with the help of microscope, at the point of contact between mercury and the glass, mercury does not stick to the glass, means mercury is a more cohesive liquid. Cohesive. Does not stick. Suppose if you take a water, if you spray a water on the glass sheet, glass gets wet. ನೀರನ್ನು ಗ್ಲಾಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇಟ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಹಾಕಿದರೆ ಗ್ಲಾಸ್ ಹಸಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದೇ ಮರ್ಕ್ಯೂರಿನ ಗ್ಲಾಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇಟ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಚೆಲ್ಲು, ಹಸಿ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಅಂಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಲ್ಲ, ಅಂಟಲ್ಲ. ಅಂದರೆ ಡಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸ್ಟಿಕ್, ಡಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅಡ್ಹೇರ್. ಮರ್ಕ್ಯೂರಿ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅಡೇಸಿವ್. ಈಗ ಚಾಕ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಬೋರ್ಡಿಗೆ ಅಂಟ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಪೇಂಟ್ ಗೋಡೆಗೆ ಅಂಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ, ಅಡ್ಹೇಸಿವ್. ಗೋಡೆಗೆ ನೀರು ಚೆಲ್ಲಿದರೆ ಗೋಡೆಗೆ ಹಸಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ನೀರು ಗೋಡೆಗೆ ಅಂಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ಟೆಗೆ ನೀರು ಚೆಲ್ಲಿದರೆ ನೀರು ಅಂಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ, ಅಡ್ಹೇಸಿವ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿಬೇಕು. ಮರ್ಕ್ಯೂರಿನ ನಾವು ಗ್ಲಾಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇಟ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಚೆಲ್ಲಿದರೆ ಗ್ಲಾಸ್ ಹಸಿ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಅಂತ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡಿಗೆ ಏನಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ? ಕೋಹಿಸಿವ್ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ದ ಶೇಪ್ ಲುಕ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಎ ಕಾನ್ವೆಕ್ಸ್ ಮೆನಿಸ್ಕಸ್. ಎಂಥ ಮೆನಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಇದು? ಕಾನ್ವೆಕ್ಸ್ meniscus. In case of what kind of liquid? For a cohesive liquid, the shape of the liquid surface is always convex. Advance ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. For a cohesive liquid, the shape of meniscus is convex because this liquid does not stick the glass container. So now to define this atmospheric pressure, they take one U-tube which gets inverted. U-tube ಅಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಕಾಣಿಸುತ್ತೆ, ಈ ಥರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಇದನ್ನೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ? ಇನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. A inverted U-tube is inserted in a mercury container. What this atmospheric pressure does is, now excluding this mercury, what is there? Here it is atmosphere. Here is also atmosphere. What it does? It exerts a pressure on the liquid. What is that liquid? Mercury. What happens now? When there is atmospheric PA, atmospheric pressure, here also there is atmospheric pressure. What it does now? It pushes the mercury down. As a result, this mercury will get into the tube and rise to a certain height, not to the complete height. Again, there is a convex meniscus, and this entire portion is filled with mercury. To what height this atmosphere will push the mercury inside the U-tube? Up to certain height, what we said, 76 centimeter. At what level? Sea level. So that is the definition of atmospheric pressure. It is the pressure exerted by the atmosphere on the mercury liquid which support a column of mercury of 76 centimeter at sea level. Pressure exerted by the atmosphere on a mercury which can support a column of mercury of 76 centimeter measured at sea level. Hence, with this, one more formula I will tell in the today class, but in advance just you take this. So pressure at a depth is given by the formula rho GH. Pressure at a depth is given by the formula rho GH, that is equal to, means in this diagram if you observe, this entire pressure exerted by the fluid which can rise the column of mercury to a 76 centimeter. So at this pressure at this depth, when we view from the top, ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಕೆಳಗೆ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಡೆಪ್ತ್ ಅಂತ ಓದಬೇಕು. ಕೆಳಗಿಂದ ಮೇಲೆ ನೋಡಿದರೆ ಹೈಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಡೆಪ್ತ್ ನೋಡಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹಿಂಗೆ ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಹೈಟ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಹಿಂಗೆ ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಹೌದಾ? ಹಾಗೆ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಡೆಪ್ತ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು, ಬಾಟಮಿಂದ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಹೈಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಅಟ್ ಎ ಡೆಪ್ತ್ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಗಿವನ್ ಬೈ ದ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ರೋ ಜಿ ಹೆಚ್. ಅದು ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ. ರೋ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಡೆನ್ಸಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಮರ್ಕ್ಯುರಿ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ 13,600 ಇಂಟು 9.8 into 76 centimeter, centi, 10 to the power of minus 2. My dear students, take the calculator and solve it. You will get 101.3 kilo Pascal. This is what we call as atmospheric pressure. So now onwards, wherever you see atmospheric pressure at sea level, my dear students, at sea level 101.3 kilopascal. However, with increase in altitude, if you go above the surface of earth, this pressure goes on decreasing. Understood? With this simple mathematical calculation and by the definition, you must say that I know what the definition mean of atmospheric pressure, how this value is obtained. This sometimes we approximately write as 10 to the power of 5 Pascal. ಇದು 101.3 ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, sometimes 101.3 ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, for doing problems this is almost taken as 100 approximately 100 kilo means 10 to the power of 3. This is 2 zeros, 3 plus 2, 10 to the power of 5 Pascal. Why doing problems? One atmospheric pressure can be taken as equal to 10 to the power of 5 Pascal, or we said Newton per meter square. And this was studied by Torricelli. Hence we call this as an instrument designed by Torricelli, which is used to measure atmospheric pressure, is called as barometer. Barometer is a device used to measure atmospheric pressure, and it was designed by whom? Torricelli. Hence sometimes it is known as Torricelli's barometer. Now we have some different types of units of atmospheric pressure. Units of atmospheric pressure. What we just studied is, that is Pascal. SI unit of pressure is Pascal. SI unit is Pascal or Newton per meter square. And one atmospheric pressure is always equal to 101.3 kilopascal, or approximately is equal to 10 to the power of 5 Pascal. This is one way of writing SI unit. But if we come across medicine, in the field of medicine, if you get into a doctor, measure the pressure in terms of, pressure is measured in terms of millimeter of mercury. Millimeter of mercury, or they use a word called torr, T-O-R-R. And 1 torr is equal to, you must remember this, 133.3 Pascal. In the field of medicine, the pressure of a fluid, that is blood, of a human body is measured in terms of millimeter of mercury. In the field of medicine, unit of pressure is millimeter of mercury or torr, name after the torricelli, and 1 torr is equal to 133.3 Pascal. Third, in the field of meteorology, 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 Havamana Ilake, they use a unit of pressure. In the field of meteorology, they use a unit called bar. Unit of pressure. In meteorology, in the field of meteorology, unit of pressure is bar, and 1 bar, or they use another, that is millimeter of bar, mm of bar. You should know this and learn from the basic. I told in the beginning, every concept you should know, and don't feel that this is going to ask in the exam, cannot be asked. Don't ask like that. You have to know everything. As I told, every concept, every corner should be known to you. So now, bar or millimeter of bar is used in the field of meteorology. For 4 marks, you may have that chance. In the field of meteorology, the unit of pressure is bar or millimeter of bar, and 1 bar is always equal to 10 to the power of 5 Pascal. Remember this. So we have defined pressure. What is atmospheric pressure? Formula. We have shown the value of this atmospheric pressure by using barometer, Torricelli's barometer, and other units of atmospheric pressure. Okay. Now, important discussion, my dear students. Take that. I told in the beginning, you have to take along with me. As I am explaining slowly, we are writing on the board like a primary school teachers. We are writing on the board. Don't neglect that. Next important formula, expression for pressure. For pressure at a depth h below the surface of fluid, surface of liquid. With this formula, finally we should arrive that excess pressure is by learning this formula. After learning this formula, we should conclude that there is excess or what we call as gauge pressure. ಅಟ್ಮಾಸ್ಫಿಯರ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ಗಿಂತ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ? A blow in a tube of vehicles, a blow in a cycle tube or in a two-wheeler has some excess pressure. Because of that excess pressure, we can easily move from one place to another place by the rotation of the wheel. By the vehicle, all kinds of vehicles have some gauge pressure, means excess pressure. And because of that excess pressure, it is possible to move easily with the vehicles, my dear students. What that excess pressure is? So that is pressure at a depth minus A. That is P minus PA, you can say. That is equal to rho GH. This difference, what it says? Greater than the atmospheric pressure. And this difference is always called as gauge pressure. Excess pressure is known as gauge pressure. That is P minus P is equal to rho GH, where rho is density of the fluid, density of say fluid, you can say, G acceleration due to gravity, and its value is a constant 9.8 meter per second square. Acceleration is expressed in terms of meter per second. H, you must say, as my dear students, depth of fluid. Height anbaaru, depth, pressure at a depth anta helbeku. ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾರೆ. ಮೇಲೆ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಹೈಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಹೋಗೋಣ. ನಾನು ಆಗಲೇ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ವಿತ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಇನ್ ಆಲ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಆಲ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೋದಾಗ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಡೆಪ್ತ್ ನೋಡ್ಕೊತ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಇದೆಯಾ, ಟಾಪ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಇದೆಯಾ, ಸಿ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಡೆಪ್ತ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಯಿತು. ಸಿ ಲೆವೆಲ್ಗಿಂತ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಾ, ಏನಾಯಿತು, ಡೆಪ್ತ್ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಯಿತು. ಮತ್ತಿನ್ನು ಮೇಲೆ ಹೋಗೋ, ಇನ್ನೂ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಯಿತು. ಸಿಕ್ಕಿಮು ಡಾರ್ಜಿಲಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗೋ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೂ ಡೆಪ್ತ್ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಯಿತು. ಅಟ್ಮಾಸ್ಫಿಯರಿಕ್ ಡೆಪ್ತ್ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಯಿತು. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಯು ಗೋ ಅಬೋವ್ ದ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅರ್ತ್, ಡೆಪ್ತ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಫ್ಲೂಯಿಡ್ ಗೋಸ್ ಆನ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸಿಂಗ್. ಸಿ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಇದೆಯಾ, ಸಿ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಇದೆಯಾ, ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ, ಡೆಪ್ತ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ. ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿಮಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಥವಾ ಡಾರ್ಜಿಲಿಂಗಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ಅಬೋವ್ ದ ಸಿ ಲೆವೆಲ್. ಅವಾಗೇನಾಯಿತು, ಡೆಪ್ತ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಅಟ್ಮಾಸ್ಫಿಯರ್ ಏನಾಯ್ತು, ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಯಿತು. ಸೊ ವಿತ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಇನ್ ಆಲ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್, depth of the atmosphere decreases. Hence atmospheric pressure decreases. So now let us understand this clearly. Now to understand this, my dear students, assume that you have a fluid which is at rest. Fluid at rest. We are studying the topic called hydrostatics, study of mechanical properties of fluids which are at rest. ಒಂದು ಹ್ಯೂಜ್ ಟ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಅಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ದಟ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಎ ಹ್ಯೂಜ್ ಟ್ಯಾಂಕ್. ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಗಾಟ್ ಸರ್ಟನ್ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್, ಲೆಂಗ್ತ್, ಬ್ರೆಡ್ತ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಹೈಟ್, 3-dimensional length, breadth and height. In that, but here we write only a 2-dimensional. In that, let us imagine I have taken some block of fluid. You take along with me, you take the diagram along with me, it is easier for you. So there is a huge container. To understand clearly, to understand neatly, huge container ಇದೆ, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ fluid ಇದೆ, say water, there is a water, assume that water is there, which is at rest. Now in that, to determine the fluid thrust, that is force exerted on this is entire imaginary block of fluid of a thickness, let us say thickness vertical ಇದೆಯಪ್ಪ dy ಅಂತ ತಗೊಳ್ತೀನಿ. dy is the thickness of the fluid. ಹಂಗೆ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಬರೆಯಕ್ಕೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಏನು ಸರ್? ಇಲ್ಲ, ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಆ ಟ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಒಂದು ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಫ್ಲೂಯಿಡ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡಿದೆಯಾ, ಒಂದು ರೆಕ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಫ್ಲೂಯಿಡ್ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆಯಾ, ಅದರ ಹೈಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ, ದಪ್ಪ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ, ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ದು dy ಇದೆ, ಅದರ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ, ಎ ಇದೆ. ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಸೇ ಎ ಇಸ್ ದ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ಆಫ್ ದ ಫ್ಲೂಯಿಡ್. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಪ್ಪರ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಬಾಟಮ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಫ್ಲೂಯಿಡ್, ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಫ್ಲೂಯಿಡ್ ಈಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಥ್ರಸ್ಟ್, ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಯಾರ ಮೇಲೆ? ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ಮೇಲೆ. ದಿಸ್ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಫ್ಲೂಯಿಡ್ ಈಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ downward force. How much? Let us say force. On which surface? Area. On surface what? A. That gives what? Force exerted by the fluid on a surface, unit surface area gives what? Pressure. By that concept we have to learn, my dear students. Like that, let us say F1 is the downward force. But this fluid, what it is doing now? It is giving some upthrust. Thrust means a force. ಈ ಫ್ಲೂಯಿಡ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಈ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಮತ್ತೊಂದಿಷ್ಟು ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಯಾವ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಅದು? F2 ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಬೇಕು. F2, ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಯು ಟೇಕನ್ ದ ರೈಟ್ ಸೈಡ್? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಎ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಬೋರ್ಡ್. ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟೇಕನ್ ದಿಸ್. ಐ ನೀಡ್ ದಿಸ್, ಮೈ ಡಿಯರ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ಏನು ಕಲಿತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಎಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ. ಎಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಅಂತ ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಸೇ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಟ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಹಿಯರ್, ಟ್ಯಾಂಕ್ filled with water. On the free surface, above the free surface of fluid, who is there? There is atmospheric pressure. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಬರಿತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಪ್ಪ. ನೀರಿನ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಯಾರು ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ? ಅಟ್ಮಾಸ್ಫಿಯರಿಕ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಎಕ್ಸರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ನಾವೆಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೀವಿ? ಕೆಳಗಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡೋಣ ಗೊತ್ತಾ? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇದು ಝೀರೋ ಎಂಡ್. ಇದು ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಡೆಪ್ತ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಫ್ಲೂಯಿಡ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಸೇ H ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನೋಣ. ಆಸ್ ಯು ಗೋ ಡೀಪರ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಗೋಸ್ ಆನ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸಿಂಗ್. ಸರ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫ್ಲೂಯಿಡ್ ಇದೆ ಹೇಗಿದೆ, ಹೌದಾ? ಇದು A ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್, ಇದು B ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್, ಇದು C ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್. Let us say I have a tank filled with water. ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಇದೇನು ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕೂಡ್ಬೇಡ, ಇದನ್ನು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. Now at A, B, C, tell me at which point pressure is more? Definitely ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. Pressure at C is greater than pressure at B at greater than that of A. As the depth increases, pressure also increases. We have to learn that, my dear students. So with this basic idea, now after learning this, ನೋಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಏನಂತ ಇದೆ, imaginary block. Imagine that there is a block of fluid. ಬರಿಬೇಕು. Consider a block of fluid of depth dy. F1 is the force, downward force. F2 is the upward force exerted by the fluid on the surface area A. On the surface area A. So after writing those simple sentence, don't write sentence like history. No, this sentence diagram and these 2 lines is enough at the beginning. Now what the difference of force here? Now downward force is F1, F2 force is upward. Now when the block is in equilibrium, when this entire block is in equilibrium, what happens now? Along with this block and the force F1, this entire block has certain weight. Weight of the fluid is acting downward. Weight of the fluid is acting downward. That is M into G. M into G is what? Weight of fluid in an imaginary block. Imaginary block. Now on the rectangle block imagine ಮಾಡಿದೀವಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ? ಎಷ್ಟು weight ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ? That is M into G. That is weight of the fluid in an imaginary block, and because of the gravity it acts down. And since the fluid is at rest, the net force on this block should be 0. At equilibrium, what I can write? The net force. Now tell me the net force now. Net downward force is M1 plus mg. F1 is the fluid thrust, fluid force exerted on that A. F1 is downward, mg is downward. That is F1 plus mg. F1 plus mg should be balanced with what? F2. The net upward force and the net downward force, they should be equal in magnitude, then the entire block will be is in rest. So with this, write my dear student, mg is equal to what? F2 minus F1. At equilibrium means when the fluid is at rest, the net force on the block should be 0. Net force is 0 means our downward force should be is equal to upward force. After learning this, my dear students, we have to define pressure. Pressure exerted on this block. ಈ ಬ್ಲಾಕಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ ದ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಇಸ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಬೈ ಏರಿಯಾ. ದ ನೆಟ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಬೈ ಏರಿಯಾ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತು. ಈಗ ಏನು ಮಾಡೋಣ? And this, in this formula, M into G. What this M is? Mass of the fluid in a block. M is, let us call this as equation 1. M, mass of fluid in a block. That I write, mass is equal to density into volume. Mass of the fluid. Density definition ಏನಪ್ಪ? Mass by volume. Density is mass by volume. Therefore, mass of the fluid is density into volume. Mass of the fluid is density into volume. So here, how much volume? As we know, volume ಬರಿಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಕೇರ್ಫುಲ್ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿತ್ತು. Area multiplied by length. Area multiplied by length. Area dimension formula ಏನು? Meter square. ಎಲ್ದು ಮೀಟರ್, ಎಸ್ ಐ ಯೂನಿಟ್, ಮೀಟರ್ ಕ್ಯೂಬ್. ಈಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ರೆಕ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಗಲ್ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಇದೆ, ಲೆಂಗ್ತ್ ಬ್ರೆಡ್ತ್ ಹೈಟ್ ಬರಿತೀರಪ್ಪ. ರೆಕ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಗಲ್ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್. ಈಗ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀಯ ಹೇಳು? ಲೆಂಗ್ತ್, ಇದು ಲೆಂಗ್ತ್, ಬ್ರೆಡ್ತ್ ಹೈಟ್. ಇದನ್ನ ನಮ್ಮ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಪ್ಪ. ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಅಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ದಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಡಸ್ಟರ್ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಫ್ಲೂಯಿಡ್. ಇದನ್ನ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಫ್ಲೂಯಿಡ್ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಲೆಂಗ್ತ್, ಬ್ರೆಡ್ತ್, ಲೆಂಗ್ತ್ ಇಂಟು ಬ್ರೆಡ್ತ್ ಏನು ಕೊಡ್ತು? ಏರಿಯಾ. ಇದಿಷ್ಟು ಏರಿಯಾ ಕೊಡ್ತು. ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈಡ್ ಬೈ ಹೈಟ್ ಗಿವ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್? ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ವಿತ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್ M is density into volume, that is equal to density remains constant. Wherever you take the block, ಎಲ್ಲಾದರೂ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ. If I take 1 drop of fluid, 10 drops, 1 liter, 100 liter, a river of water, nature of fluid ಒಂದೇ ಇರಬೇಕು. Density remains constant. For a given fluid, density remain constant. at constant temperature. Constant temperature ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ given fluid ಗೆ density constant. So ಈಗ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಗೆ area of cross section, area surface area multiplied by depth. Multiplied by depth ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಬರಿತೀನಿ ಆಗಲೇ dy ಅಂತ ಬರಿತೀನಿ ನೋಡಪ್ಪ. Length into breadth, length into breadth gives area, into height gives volume. So with this, think you have taken this. Again I need a space, my dear students. I just remove this. I just come over here in this formula, substitute in 1, substitute in equation 1 bardre, that is rho a into dy into g equal to f2 minus f1. Rho a mass is rho a dy into g is equal to f2 minus f1. I am very slow to understand clearly. Next, here rho, this in the right side f2 minus f1, I write difference in the force, or we write, okay, let it be difference in the force. Rho, I write this rho a g is equal to, 1 second my dear students, df as it is, sorry, just copy this. I need a space. I think you have taken the diagram ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ. Now substitute in 1, this equation becomes m is rho into volume, mass is density into volume, density into volume, a into dy, mass into g, downward weight, equal to, that is equal to f2 minus f1, f2 minus f1. So in this formula I write this rho g dy is equal to, this I write f2 minus f1 divided by a. This is difference in force by area. df is difference in force by area. This term we call as difference in pressure. Then keep as it is, rho g dy. f2 minus f1 is difference in force, as we have studied in the diagram. So last discussion is, we need this gives what? Small change in pressure. This is what? Small pressure difference for depth, how much it is? dy. For a dy depth, I have difference in pressure, my dear students. dy ಏನಂತ ತೋರಿಸ್ತೀರಿ diagram ಅಲ್ಲಿ. Now I need a total depth. What is the total depth of the fluid? Total depth of the fluid is, we have started our journey from 0 to h. Now what is the total depth of the fluid now? H. What is the starting depth? 0. Where you have to go? H. Therefore, we have to go for integration. Total change in the pressure. This is small change in pressure because of small depth. But we need a total change in the pressure from 0 to h. So to have a total change, you should go for integration. To find total pressure and depth h. It's a standard way of attending the derivation, my dear students. You will learn in some other books, they will give easy method also, but it has some data in this, a complete concept as in this. Means I have taken a small depth dy, means if I go on changing the depth, the pressure goes on changing. Then the concept of integration, why you need integration? I have to calculate the total. Small changes idre differentiation hogteve. Small changes idre differentiation hogteve. dy, dp, small change in pressure because of small change in depth. But we need a total change from 0 to h, therefore you should go for integration. Therefore, on integrating, integrating both sides from ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು 0 to h ಹೋಗಬೇಕು 0 ಡೆಪ್ತ್ ಇಂದ h ಡೆಪ್ತ್ ಗೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ನನಗೆ ಫೈನಲ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ಇಂಟಗ್ರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್ rho g dy from ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ 0 to h equal to ರೈಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಂಟಗ್ರೇಟ್ dp. ಈಗ 0 ಡೆಪ್ತಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ? ಅಟ್ಮಾಸ್ಫಿರಿಕ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇದು ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಡ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಏನು ಸರ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರಿದ್ದಾರೆ? 0. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ? ಡೆಪ್ತ್ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಳಗಿದೆಯಾ? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಟ್ 0 ಅಂತಾರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರು ಸಿಗ್ತಾರೆ ನಿನಗೆ? ಅಟ್ಮಾಸ್ಫಿರಿಕ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಸಿಗ್ತಾರೆ. 0 ಡೆಪ್ತಲ್ಲಿ ಅಟ್ಮಾಸ್ಫಿರಿಕ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಸಿಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಾಟಮ್ ಫುಲ್ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲೇನು ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ? ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಅಟ್ ಎ ಡೆಪ್ತ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ನಾವೇನು ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ? ಪಿ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. dy 0 ಇದ್ರೆ, ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ? ಟಾಪಲ್ಲಿದೆಯಾ? ಆ dy ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಡೆಪ್ತ್ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಪ್ಪ, ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಆಗಲೇ. dy ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ಯಾ? dy ಡೆಪ್ತ್ 0 ಇಲ್ಲಿದೆ. dy ಡೆಪ್ತ್ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆಯಾ? ಬಾಟಮ್ ಹತ್ರ ಇದೆಯಾ ಅಂತ ಅಂದರೆ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ 0 to h ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ನಾ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ರೋ ಮತ್ತು ಜಿ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತಪ್ಪ, ಹೊರಗೆ ಹಾಕ್ತೀವಿ. ರೋ ಜಿ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇದು ಇಂಟಗ್ರೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ dy ಫ್ರಮ್ 0 to h. ಇದು ಇಂಟಗ್ರೇಷನ್ ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಬರಿತೀನಿ, dp. ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಯ್ತು, ಬೇಡಲ್ವಾ? ಟೂ ಮೆನಿ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ಸ್ ಮೇ ಲೀಡ್ಸ್ ಟು ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್. ಸೊ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಮೈ ಡಿಯರ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ರೋ ಜಿ ಹೊರ ತೆಗಿಬೇಕು. ಇಂಟಗ್ರೇಷನ್ ವಿತ್ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟು y ಇರುತ್ತೆ 0 to h. ಇಂಟಗ್ರೇಷನ್ ವಿತ್ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟು p ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಫ್ರಮ್ pa to p ಬರೀಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ 0 to h ಇದೆ, ಅಪ್ಪರ್ ಲಿಮಿಟ್ ಮೈನಸ್ ಲೋಯರ್ ಲಿಮಿಟ್. ಸೊ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ರೋ ಜಿ, ಅಪ್ಪರ್ ಲಿಮಿಟ್ y ಈಸ್ h. ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ಡೆಪ್ತ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? h ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಮೈನಸ್ 0. ಅಗೇನ್ upper limit minus lower limit. So rho g h is equal to p minus pa. My dear students, whether this derivation is going to ask in the exam or not, but you should have that basic knowledge for attending competitive problems. I think you understood clearly. So final answer is P minus Pa is equal to rho GH. As I told, P is a pressure at a depth h. Pa is atmospheric pressure. Hence this P minus Pa is called gauge pressure or excess pressure, which is given by the formula rho GH. As h increases, depth increases, taking rho and g as a constant, this pressure is directly proportional to depth of the fluid. Depth of fluid. Okay, just practice once again. For a small changes, we use a method called differentiation. For a total change in the variable, we use a method called integration. That concept is necessary, my dear students. Don't get feared that this is tough. No, it is easier. For solving problems in the next coming classes, we need this formula. Okay? Let us conclude today class and we shall continue in the next class. Thank you. Take care.